Up. Zero tolerance. Man, I like these ZT knives for the most part. What do we got here? Yeah, this is the 0044 ZT Original S45 VN titanium scales. And I am looking forward to this piece, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the original 0044 come out, and it was an automatic. And I have a fair piece of automatic knives, but I heard that this one was going to come out in a button lock. And so I thought, you know what? I want the button lock version. So there it is. Man, it's just got standard classic lines to me of a pocket knife. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. And then we're going to do what we do with knives. Let's start by getting the blade open. Oh, come on. Yeah, so one of the ways to tell if these are correct, I mean, I shop a lot on the secondary market. And when we're talking about zero tolerance knives and a few others, is the serial number. See it here on the box? 1083. And that's the serial number on the blade there. I can tell you this, for highly copied knives, which I don't know that this is copied yet, it's pretty new. But when I'm dealing with highly copied knives and ZTs, some of the ZT models definitely fall into that category. I'm looking for packaging that has the serial number that matches the blade. If it doesn't have that, I'm pretty, you know what, 100%, that's a no-go for me. If they say, well, I don't have packaging, no-go. When you're talking a $200-300 knife and they don't have the packaging and it's highly counterfeited, I'm out if they don't have the packaging. And I see this on eBay a lot of secondary markets, they'll image the heck out of the knife. They'll even image the heck out of the packaging, but they won't show the end of the packaging that has the serial number that could kind of, lend some credibility to the knife being legit. So again, if they don't provide that picture, if I really want the knife, I may ask for it. But I can tell you, if I'm asking for it, 99% of the time, when I ask for it, they won't provide it. 1% of the time, the seller goes, oh, yeah, I should have put that in there. And then they send me an image of it. But typically, if it's not in there, it's because it's a counterfeit. Yeah, they purposely left it out. Yeah. So snappy coming off that button. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less from zero tolerance on their knife. To run really well and yeah, no issues there, man. Let's check the pocket clip before I take it apart. And I'm definitely going to take it apart. The big question I'm going to have on this one is, am I going to keep it? Yeah, that was pretty smooth. Very smooth. It's got good tension, but it's super smooth. It's smooth on the back of the contact patch, and it's smooth on the titanium. Titanium has some texture to it, very minimal. I think it's probably tumbled. If it's blasted, it's very fine glass blasted, but it's very smooth. I think I'll try to put a little tension on that because I'm pretty sure I could shake that out of that pocket. Yep. Okay. Well, when we get it apart, I'll look at that. Yeah, very nice, man. The action, initially, the ergonomics, finger guard, jimping, the grip. Well, let's get in it. Very cool. I'm glad, man. I'm glad I waited. I almost got the auto version. Just because of the lines of the knife. Let me show it. Just because of that line, these lines right here. Such a traditional knife shape to me. It's really attractive, in my opinion. I almost bought one, but I didn't. I held off. I did buy another auto, but I think it was a Kershaw. I got to check now. It's got me thinking, did I buy the auto? I remember having a new auto here recently, and it was similar to this, but I think it had aluminum scales. So I think it was a Kershaw launch, a new launch version. Had some Loctite on all of that. And then it looks like there's just one screw other than the pivot down on the back side here. We're going to pull it from this side. I hope it's going to let me do that. Yeah. Very nice. Yep, fair piece of Loctite there too. Yep, and the pivot. The pivot had its share too. Let me show it. Yep. All right, well, now I can lift up on the scale without my spring flying away. There it is right there. Nice, hefty spring. Contributing to that action for sure. I mean, it doesn't look overly lubed. Honestly, it doesn't look lubed at all. I wonder if it's just got a small amount of dry grease going in here. Captured pivot, it's just in the shape of the pivot itself, recessed into the titanium scale. Big, thick stop pin. It's pretty much wedged in there, so I think I'm going to leave it be. But I do want to get that little metal washer out of there, and we'll wipe all this down. Oh, there's double washers on this side. I wonder if there was double washers on the other side. There is. There's one against the blade and one against the scale. Now, and it's multi-rolled bearings. They're tiny little bearings, but they're multi-roll. Here, let's get a closer look. Oh, come on. Look at how small that is. They are itty bitty, man, but multi-rolled nonetheless. And they put a washer on the blade surface as well as the titanium scale. And my guess is because this is stone washed, it probably lends to this having better action. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. Interesting. I'm thinking about it, and I don't know that I've ever seen that with an extra washer up against the blade. Interesting. I mean, I could tell you there's a whole lot of knives that have like coatings on them, like black coatings, different types of coatings that they put on blades to protect the steel. And boy, they could sure use an extra washer so that the bearings don't have to run in that coating and, try to, wear the coating off. So that would make total sense to me. But on this one, I mean, it looks like a stone-washed surface there. And I don't think I've ever seen that before. An extra washer in there. Interesting. Yeah. All right, we're going to clean these little pieces here. Let's get the button. I'm going to work to not get any lubrication on the button. I find that lubrication on the button just causes lock stick that I don't like. I don't mind a little bit on a button. It's just reinforcing that it's locked up tight and good to go. It's in good shape, but yeah. Man, I picked up a Grail knife on the secondary on eBay the other day, and it was listed in new condition. The images showed it in new condition, and it arrived, and it was used, 100% used. Man, it had a bunch of pocket lint in it, a bunch of snail trails. I mean, and you could see where the anodized black titanium scales had been worn from, time in the hand. And, I took the high road, man. I just reached out and sent some pictures and said, hey, you listed it as new. None of the images represented what this knife is, and I'm not happy. What do you want to do? And I'm kind of bummed because the seller just said, yeah, I'll give you a 100% refund and I'll pay for shipping. And I honored that. I guess I could have stepped forward and said, well, make me an offer. I'll keep the knife, you know. Um, on principle, I didn't though, because it's like you told me it was new. It wasn't new. You sent it to me and I'm not having it. And so he said, send it back. So I sent it back, but I'm kind of bummed because I missed out on the knife, but there was no way that I was going to keep that knife for that price because I paid new price for it. You know what I mean? But I run into that fairly frequently. I get emails on the channel from new collectors, people that find the channel and they reach out and said, hey, they reach out and say, hey, I'm new to collecting. I appreciate your channel. I've been watching, blah, blah, blah. And I always try to warn, hey, collecting's awesome, but, oh, I forgot that second washer. It's bearing. I'm going to roll that oil in my finger. It's bearing and then another washer. And then the blade. I wonder if I should put just a dab between the washer and the blade. I wonder if that will make the action even better, because it was good. But it's amazing how often I run into knives like that where they claim it to be new and it's far from new. Far from Nugan. Far from new. What's that far from Nugan? Was that a candy bar? I think it was. It was a commercial for a candy bar. I don't know. Goof. But yeah, I do run into that a lot. Luckily, eBay don't play that. If you can take some pictures, if the seller won't act right about it, eBay will step in. You just provide good images, and they can easily look at the original listing and go, yeah. And here's the thing about a knife, man. If you just turn it a little bit, you can hide every flaw on the knife. If you just turn the knife a little bit, get the right angle from the camera, you can completely disguise scratches and wear and all kinds of stuff. And it's amazing how often I run into it. You'd think, especially on eBay, that you'd be smart enough to know, like eBay's not gonna hold me to this. No matter how many ways I say no returns as is, if you represent with images that the knife's pristine, and then the buyer gets it, and it's like, yeah, this knife's not the knife in those pictures. eBay will force them. And, oh my goodness, yeah, what an improvement that is. Holy smokes, that's good. I'm going to put a little tension on this pocket clip while I got it out here. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like anything, man. It's like a scam. They throw their line in the water with bait on it, and if a fish takes the bait and they don't catch the fish, they just put more bait on it and throw it back in the water. And the whole concept is eventually you hook one in the mouth. And so, DH Gate is kind of broke down to that level for me. I mean, I've run into so many scams on DH Gate that I don't use it anymore, because of how many times, it's not a real sale. It's bogus. It never ships, or when it does ship, it's, they send you a $2 necklace for something you paid, $50 for or whatever, so that you received a package. You know what I mean? And then, DH Gate is good about, refunding your money. You've got recourse, but man, they make you jump through some hoops to get it done. And so I'm just not interested in jumping through those hoops anymore. So I don't shop there no more, just because it's so riddled with fraud that, it's like every other purchase, you're fighting to get your money back. And I say fighting, it's really just admin stuff. You gotta respond, and then they have an opportunity to respond, and and it's a respond and wait game. It's not really, it's not difficult, but you got to keep up with it. There's timelines. Ooh, yeah, there's a ton more tension on that pocket clip now. I already checked that pivot, make sure that blade's tight, and it definitely is. Wow. Yeah, what an upgrade, man, on that action. I mean, I'll be honest, I think what I just did there was ensure that this knife is going to cost me some money. Yeah, yeah, it getting tuned up like that. Speaking of tuning, hey, I think I'm about to have Timber's Edge Knife is going to add a product that's called knife tuning or knife check-in, whatever, and I'll do this process to a knife. I haven't quite landed on the cost. There's no shipping involved. But there's the issue. Here's the issue. Like, if you paid me to tune a knife and then you get it and you don't like it because I put too much tension on the pocket clip, let's say. And this one's a good example because, man, I really, just that little bit of bending I did on it, the tension on this pocket clip now is legit. Yeah, like that's a dryer clip now. There's no way, like, running, tumbling, getting a fight with a grizzly bear, rolling down a hill. When I reach for that, it's going to be right where I left it. Yeah, and I'm not even going into the thick stuff. This is standard jean size material. And so that pocket clip's it's a winner now. Well, but let's say I tuned your knife and you don't like that. It's like, oh, the pocket clip's too tight. Well, I could easily, you send it to me, I could readjust the pocket knife, but who's paying for the shipping? And if I, let's say I charge $10 for the service. Well, I mean, now if you got to ship it back to me because you don't like something, well, man, that's $5 to $7. And I got to ship it back to you. That's $5 to $7. I mean, I could be $4 upside down because you don't like the way that I did the pocket clip, or there's a little button stick. They're such an animal to tuning a knife. You know, there's such a fine line between, yeah, I really like the tension on the button, to it's not enough. And so I don't know how to pull it off because yeah. So anyways, now that I'm verbalizing that out loud after I just said, we're trying to figure out how to do it, I'm probably not going to do it. It's just too complicated, man. And I don't know a way to do that. And then, here's the only way I'd do it is that you get what you get. If you don't like it, it's on you. Buy a screwdriver from them and do it yourself. I just don't know how to do it because trying to guarantee satisfaction on something that's so intricate or can be, you know what I mean? I just don't know how to pull it off. But man alive, is this thing running like oh, yeah. No stick on the button, maybe just the tiniest little bit, but you can't hear it click. Drop shut, very nice. I mean, for as button locks go, I'm going to give it an A. It's just really nice. The button itself is just slightly above flush when the blade's closed, and then when you deploy, it's raised up a fair piece, so it's easy to find to close that knife. Very nice. The flipper tab is a little high from center of the pivot. It's got that swoopy arc to it. It's got a little bit of jimping on it, but super snappy. I might not be able to fail this as a button lock. I say that every time, and then I fail it, but let's see. It's got enough of a detent that I can't fail this button lock. You see why I'm saying it's an A? I don't know of another button lock that I've ever reviewed or put my hands on that I couldn't fail. And this one won't fail. So nice. Wow. A-level button lock, no doubt about it. And I didn't adjust the spring. That's stock spring tension, stock button, everything was stock. The only thing I changed was I cleaned it, lubed it, and put tension on that pocket clip. Wonderful tension. Let's go to ergonomics. Finger guard, the flipper tab's a wonderful finger guard. It's got some decent jimping up here. It's not combat stuff. I can push past it, but it does help provide grip. So in the end, not so confident, very confident. This is going to rise past confident towards very confident. It's a wonderful grip. I am locked in here. Absolutely can get forward motion with this knife, and I'm confident I'll maintain my grip. Reverse grip, yeah, the thumb cap is very natural. My fingers are grabbing the pocket clip. Yeah, this is legit right here. And then guess what? Bonus points. I can get my palm behind that finger guard. Yeah, and this is money. And I would really rather be here than here. Yeah, I like it. The pocket clip's aces. The blade, the lockup is wonderful. The blade centering on the money, and then the detent on the bottom, closing the knife. Let's watch it snatch that blade. Yeah, and it clicks in. So that S45VN, we're going to wrap up with two things. How sharp is this blade, and how much are these knives? Yeah, I'll take that. Buy that for $1. Yeah, pretty nice. All right. How much, man? Okay. These are around, they're just under $350, but with a discount code, you can pick these up for just a tick over $300. They are not giving this knife away. Yep, it's a $300 knife. Now, if you wait it out, will you be able to find these for, I don't know, $270? Maybe. I don't know. That tick over 300, that's already 10% off. That gets you down from 340 to 306. Yep. Now, if Timber's Edge Knives carries them, that's probably where you'd end up. Shipped to your door, no tax, like 306 with the discount code. And to get that discount code, what's required is you got to subscribe to the store. If you subscribe, it drops your email address. In a lot of cases, you get an email over there, and they've told me this. A lot of people have subscribed. They get the follow-up email, and they don't allow the notifications. If you don't allow the notifications, you're not truly subscribed, which means you can't use the discounts. And so what's that notification do? That notification allows them to email you new releases. So after they add a bunch of knives or whatever, how they're doing it, once they get enough, they send an email. I get the email and it says, hey, check out our new listings. And it gives you some links where you can click into their website. Well, if you don't allow those, emails, well, then you're not subscribed. So it's a simple thing to get 10% off. Anyways, ZT0044. Man, is it cool. I appreciate y'all watching.